So we turned on the TV for the first time this week. The juxtaposition of the screen with the property in the background was somehow poignant. Here we are, on our property, living our lives. The dream we talked about years ago, now realized.
Before you spend a bunch of money on the truck, you need to do a compression check. You'll have to get a compression checker. Okay. They're not very expensive. You screw it in there, and you need to make it to where it won't start. So you're going to disconnect the distributor or the coil wire or something so it doesn't start on you. And you turn the motor over for a little while until you see that gauge stop going up, and then they stop cranking and you watch the gauge. And if it holds that pressure, that cylinder's good. And the closer the numbers are on all your pistons, all your spark plug holes, the closer you are on having the same numbers on all of them, the better the motor is. If the compression isn't staying up, it's a damaged cylinder. It's a cheap check, and that way you know the motor's either good or bad.
Cambian sin cesar. What are we doing today?
So the original plan was to clear out an area for a friend that's moving up, but our solar array has shut down 3 times now. By the time I make it over to the inverter, it tells me there's an overload on the trailer's end. It could be that the AC is running for too long without a break, and so it draws too much power and then causes an overload. It could also be, which is what we're going into town for, the fact that none of our stuff is grounded right now. So we're heading into Winnemucca to look for a grounding rod or 2 to bury into the ground. I'm going to ground the trailer, and then we're going to ground the inverter to the trailer, and hopefully that solves that issue. But it's got to be done, so that's what we're doing. We're going into Ace Hardware to look for some grounding rods. Not the exact clamp we need, but this should work.
It is a grounding clamp.
It is a grounding clamp.
That H gauge is 99 cents a foot. That's the 10 gauge is 65 cents. That's less than half. That's a third of the price at the other store.
And this is... Oh, they're hiring.
Ooh, that would be a fun part-time job. whole pole basically is getting buried.
It says ideally you want 8 feet. I'm not really sure how we're gonna do that. We got that.
That's what the fence post. Wait, do that again. The post.
So we'll try that and see if that banks it down. I'm hoping we don't have to first dig 3 feet down and then begin sinking it. That we can just start doing this and get it down there. But we'll see.
So we're gonna try to hammer this down a little bit so that we can then move the shade cover over it and then do the rest of the work in the shade because it's pretty hot today.
It is very hot today. Okay, let's see.
I was gonna offer, I think it was, I was gonna offer to hold it, but I kind of feel like you got it.
It's starting to get real hard.
You've gone real fast though. It's less than 2 minutes. You want shade now? Or are you just gonna... I did this once as a kid with my uncle, fixing a barbed wire fence. Am I moving anymore?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we attach. Or no, go. If you go further, it's like ground level. You dig out around it, attach, and bury it back up. Okay? It's right in that bucket. Yeah, I mean, it was recording when it went over, so.
It's not forever, but I hope that it will do. I wanna be with you till the sun destroys the earth.
Yeah, I guess we are. Let's dig this trench in the hot sun like we were used to.
Well, hot dog.
Does it fit?
It's gonna work.
Sweet. So what exactly did you just do?
I drilled a hole in the frame of the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna sink this bolt into here.
Mm-hmm.
And then the green wire we bought will run from the inverter to the bolt and connect with some of those other smaller coated versions of these we got.
Mm-hmm.
And then this will also run to the thing into a copper wire. Wire will run out to the copper rod that we sink into the ground.
And that's the copper wire that's bare.
And that's the copper wire that's bare, yeah. So That should ground the inverter and we'll ground the inverter to the trailer, the trailer to the ground, which will ground both of these things. Hey, no, stay out of there. Come over here. Come over here. Okay, really, it just needs to connect, so it doesn't have to be super tight.
Right, we just need the connection.
And that should be good. So it's going up into the frame here. Here is our rod. This rod, I cannot believe, is 8.5 feet deep into the ground.
We beat that thing in there.
So the trailer is now grounded, and the inverter is grounded to the trailer. So now we'll bury this, and then turn it all back on.
What is it you usually say? Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so everybody's pretty familiar with all of our greenhouse stuff. It was delivered in the trailer a couple months ago, and it's kind of sat here ever since, but now we're getting our first loved one that's moving out here to the property, and she's gonna be setting up right here. So we gotta clear out this area. So we're gonna be moving most of these stacks over to some new stacks back behind some of the sagebrush and greasewood here. That's gonna give it a little bit of buffer from the wind. We're also going to take this opportunity to get this stuff up off the ground and set onto pallets. This is our salvage wood here. This is wood me and my buddy Jeremiah were able to get from a local who's moving out of town, and she was kind enough to let us kind of go through the scraps in our yard and take whatever we want. So we grabbed as much as we could, anything that wasn't nailed down and some things that were, and brought it out here. Anyway, so we'll be doing some time lapses to show you the progress and getting this all cleared out, and then I'll show you some before and afters. I probably already showed you the before, so I'll show you the after with some drone shots once we get it all taken care of. While the work hasn't gotten easier, life here noticeably has. The ground feels a little firmer under our feet as the high stress severity of the last few months settles into a more comfortable, mild anxiety. While winter still looms, I feel as though we've entered the second phase in our off-grid journey, one in which Athena and I can count on a certain level of stability. The last few months have flown by at a snail's pace, and while this is definitely a finish, we're just getting started.